we're here for the Shapeshifters of Rathe. This is our 5th edition, and this month we are all about the community. And we got two great community members today. We have the lovely Diana, who has done a beautiful Bravo cosplay with the wonderful little meep that everyone is so jealous about, and has also recently got to the top 4 of the Rainbow Pitch League, beating me out during rounds, so it was a great game. And we also have the lovely Ryan, who was the Shiana cosplay and placed in the top 8 of the most recent US Nationals, the only Nationals to have a cosplay competition, may I note. So we're going to kind of hit the ground running and just talk about US Nats first, and then we'll move into having a little bit conversation about the community. How was your experience at US Nats, Diana?
I loved it. I had just the greatest time. I did a casual cosplay on Friday, and I was just walking around. I did my Lena Bell cosplay, which I've done before, and I was just handing out little potions. I find it really fun just to give people drinks because sometimes people just forget to eat or drink anything, and it's just like a fun little interaction with people. And then Saturday itself, it was so fun to just be in cosplay and like chat with people, and like a lot of the cosplayers actually weren't in their costumes until later because costumes are difficult. Mine was actually not too bad. I was able to like go to the bathroom and everything. A big a big plus. Not always possible, but it was so great meeting people and be like, oh, I'm gonna be cosplaying later, I'm looking so forward to it. And then seeing all the people actually during the cosplay contest was so neat, and I got to meet so many people, and it was just like it was so heartwarming, like all the effort and like joy that was just like going around. It was really awesome.
Definitely comes out in all the photos. Ryan, how was your experience? Was this your first time in the cosplay competition?
It was my first time in the cosplay competition, my first time making a nationals invitational tournament. So I won an invite from like an RTN, and then I was at the judge conference on Thursday, so we had the I was committed to the bit on being a shapeshifter.
Wow, judge as well. That's like a triple threat, right?
Yeah. Nats was amazing. I think it never, all the events that happen in Vegas really are just really great. I think a lot of people are in higher spirits for various reasons, figuratively and literally. And yeah, I mean, the cosplay was just unforgettable. I was actually working on it until 4 p.m. on Saturday, 2 hours before the contest. I had expected to play games in the costume, and I was kind of planning around that, but it didn't come together until the last, that period. So I'm actually kind of glad that I ended up dropping out of Nats because I didn't make day 2 anyway, and then I went on to do a shapeshifter sealed, which I 5-0'd, obviously.
Oh, obviously, yeah.
So the costume itself had never been fully assembled until Saturday. So it had been built, every piece built separately. My girlfriend, I have to shout out because she made like the gold armband thing. She made the armor plates that are at the hips it's like a detail. It's harder to notice. And she also made the floating light, which I think ended up being invaluable to the character. And I was like, I told her you should definitely make that, but I'm going to be focused on other stuff like learning how to sew and stuff. And yeah, so I mean, everything kind of turned out way better than I think I expected it to. So it was an unforgettable experience being with so many people, like in costumes, and just everyone recognizing everyone else was just really, really fun.
And it was a stiff competition. There was a lot of different, like, I don't know how they decided. I mean, I watched a little bit of the Living Legends podcast, and Cal talked about judging and knowing that you're judging just only 2 hours before, and I can't imagine being that unprepared to judge. I mean, we spend hours and hours, so it must have been a hard job for them as well. But there was such great, like, even outside the top 8, I felt that there were some real standout costumes. So I think you guys all did a wonderful job, and our highest count of people actually participating, which is just awesome. Just getting out there and sharing the love of whatever character that you choose to do is just wonderful, I feel. There was something else I wanted to ask about US Nats. So with yes, the promos. How did it feel to get your hands on those promos? Because only the Europeans have so far got their hands on those promos. I think top 8 got something a little bit different to outside of top 8, but everybody got something. How did that feel?
I guess I'll start with the generic one because I didn't get top 8, so I just got the basic. But it was like, it was really like at the end of the event, they were like, all right, children, basically, like, come get your promo. And we all sort of lined up and like hunched together. It's like, yes. So it was like a little disorganized, but you know, we're all like above bar. We're all good. But like actually seeing the promo is like, wow, it's beautiful. Like it's, you know, like the foiling is just, it's a really gorgeous, both of them are gorgeous cards. Like,
yeah,
getting a hold of him. I was showing it to people like the rest of the like weekend because, you know, people haven't seen it in person. Like, you know, pictures can't really do it as much justice. So it was just fun to sort of show it to people. The pricing of it was difficult. Like, you know, I just casually talked to sellers out of curiosity, and they're like, I don't know, man. I'm like, okay. But it was really awesome that just everyone who participated like got something like that.
yeah.
That felt really awesome, honestly, just because there is so much work put into it, and it's nice to see that LSS is like, you guys are doing great. And like a comment, I was talking to somebody and they're like, yeah, no one did like a shit cosplay. No one came in there like, I just want my free promo. Like everyone put their effort into it, like, which is just really heartwarming. I love that. I'm not sure if people will do that in the future. I doubt it because cosplay's a lot, especially if you have to fly with it. Like, but no, everyone had their full heart into it, and it was just like, it was nice to get a little recognition, I guess. But yeah, the top 8 prizes were much cooler as well.
So, because outside of top 8 is the needle and the fabric of autumn, or is it?
Blossom.
Blossom, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it turns into the spring, the blossom, yeah. I think that's such a usable card, but we'll see what happens. Mm-hmm. And how did you feel about because you got a mass in top 8 as well? Is that correct?
I think I got the highest result that was possible given the people who were there and what they did. So I came in 4th, but the prizes for the top 4 were the same for 2nd through 4th. So it's basically the same as me getting 2nd, and no one was beating Rachel's data doll. Like, not possible. That was incredible. So to make 4th/2nd, like it's all kind of tied, it was mind blowing. But the difference I think you got was the Fabric of Spring cold foil card and the Fabric of Spring playmat. I think everyone did only top 8 get a playmat, or did everyone get a playmat?
Only top 8.
So. Oh, okay. So the bottom 4 got the needle playmat, which was an art playmat with no play zones, and then the top 4 got the Fabric of Spring playmat.
Nice.
Yeah, and I could probably go get it downstairs somewhere, but I gave it straight to my girlfriend. She loves playmats, and I was like, "You earned this."
Yeah. When I found out there was playmats, I almost lost my shit because I knew that we were going to have cards, because I was told, James told me himself, oh, we're giving you some promos. So I thought, oh yeah, that's just cards, I assumed. But to have mats is just amazing, because you can just roll up if you wish to. And I've got this mat because I do this thing. And it's a good conversation starter too, when you sit across and like, oh, I've never seen that. How did you get that? So it's quite nice. It kind of spreads the love and the appreciation from LSS is amazing. On that note, do we want to talk about community experiences? I mean, being your first time doing a cosplay, and you've done a couple cosplays, Diana. How has I mean, how has it differed, like the whole situation for you, Diana, with the different events that you have been at?
So my first cosplay was not at a contest. It was at some event in Baltimore. I think it was like a Battle Hardened or whatever. That was the thing that sparked the Lena Bell cosplay, because it was January. It was still like Christmas time. I was still like, let's go, full like Christmas garb, giving out stuff. I just started it because I was like, people don't bring snacks. I'm gonna make sure that people have snacks and like don't die. Which is actually, that venue does not have water fountains.
Oh.
I don't know why they hate us. But it was just really neat, just starting conversations with people, and like I really enjoyed the interaction, because that was also my first like major event going to. So like I would sit down with someone, start a game, be like, hi, like, since I gave everyone a shitty Christmas present promo that I played against. So it's sort of like
Nice.
a nice little starter. It's like, since you're my opponent, like, here you go. And like, did you get a potion? Did you get some socks? Like, so it was just, and then, some people asked for photos. It was just very like heartwarming, getting to see the community, getting to see people just like enjoying themselves, because sometimes competitions are really stressful, like even with a battle hardened, especially round one, like, which is something I've noticed the more I've gone to. Round one is so stressful. Everyone's like, we gotta win. It's like, but we do have to remember to sort of like take a second to breathe and enjoy ourselves, enjoy the people that we're around. Like but the real first time I interacted with the cosplay community was Pro Tour Baltimore, where I again did Lena Bell, but like I met so many people, and I was able to join the Discord for the cosplayers, which is really awesome. Just being able to be in there and like look at what people are working on, look at what people are thinking of, sort of just random things. I love the channel of like art that shouts cosplay, just people posting cards and us like commenting on how beautiful it is, and like, oh, we should definitely do that, or like, oh, X person has already done this one, like, and then they'll be like, hi, yeah. And then US Nats, it was really great to see like the people again that some of the people again that I'd already seen in Baltimore. It was like, it just felt like, I don't know, it felt like I was part of the community at that point. Like, oh, I know people. Like, I feel like I could, make sure to invite people to the Discord, like make sure that everyone possible can just join in our community, because it is really like, it's really awesome. It can be stressful, especially for people who want to win. Like, when I see those people backstage, they are stressed. Like, I don't remember his name. I feel really bad. But the person who did the Blossom of Springs cosplay at New Jersey, I remember chatting with him, and he was so stressed the entire time that we were preparing. Like, he was very ready. He was like, I have brought pictures of like my various stages of the cosplay. I've brought the fabric itself. Like, he was very in the zone, then seeing him at US Nationals, he did the cash-in guy, and he just wandered around giving people coins, having a good time. And I'm like, I love that for you. I love how like you were able to like step back and do a casual. And of course now he wants to do another extravagant cosplay, which good for him, because he did a great job on the Blossoms of Spring.
I think that top 4, didn't it? Yeah, it did. Yeah.
he got a tailor from that. So because they handed out tailors to the top 3.
Top 3.
Before they had the promos, then now they're like, okay, we're gonna stop just handing out money so much. We're gonna have other money. So, but I don't know. I just love the community, how supportive it is, and like how we're all just sharing experience every event we go to. Like we'll be backstage and someone will have like shoot, I know the old him cosplayer had like a bit of a like wardrobe issue, and we're all like trying to help. We're all like, we know this, we got you. And like earlier in the day, the Azuri cosplayer saw me in my Bravo cosplay, and he's like, do you have scissors? And I was like, I got you. I pull out my entire sewing kit that I brought with me. It's like, what do you need? I want to help. Like, it's heartwarming knowing you could just walk up to any of the cosplayers and like they're willing to have a chat, have a good time. Like every cosplayer I ran into was super friendly, and it was super nice. So.
Yeah, Ryan, how did you find it being a first-time cosplayer? How did you find the community? I know that there's always a massive spike of new members to our Discord after you guys have an event because you share the word so well, and so you're new to the Discord as well. How did you find this?
I got a little lost. I'm not sure where to start. I actually got an invite to the Discord server from Eric Leong. He's the judge community representative for the Midwest. And he didn't even say anything. I just mentioned something about making a costume, and he just put the link in there, and I was like, oh good. The community it's been unreal. It's hard to quantify. It's hard to put into words. I mean, Diana encapsulated it quite well, I think, but it was like, the same thing is like we've all had the same experience. Like when I say I was building my costume until I was sewing all night Wednesday night until 5:30 a.m. and then getting on an airplane, and everyone just goes, yeah. Like because we knew, so everyone was like, yeah, last minute blah blah, and I was like, well, Kyra pitched the idea to me like a month ago, and we started like 2 weeks ago, but the first week I was just like, how do you sew? How does that work? So the progress train it just like ramped up until the end, and then it just like went vertical, and then it plateaued, and I got stuck, and then I had to finish it on Saturday. But I mean, the community's been amazing. It's been really nice to have a place where I can also take the tools that I've learned on my short beginning to help other people already. Just saying like, hey, I found this YouTube channel where, this guy does everything with foam, and it's like, and people have been like, oh, that yeah, I've checked that out. That's been really useful to me. Like, that's one of my favorite things about participating in various communities is just being able to share the things that I've learned, because I feel like I'm on a different path than most people. Slightly a different subsection of all that we're all on the same sort of path, but it's been a wild ride for sure.
I kind of get a little bit jealous because you guys there's so many cosplayers over there. I know I recently shared a couple of pictures of some cosplayers here, but generally whenever I go to somewhere, it's just me and there's nobody else. When we had our calling in Auckland, I was most impressed, because I helped my friend with a costume, so I knew there would be two, and one other, and then suddenly there were 6 of us because these people came out from the woodwork, which is lovely, but then they disappeared again. So it's just me and one other who does other cosplay now. She's not doing so much fab. So to see James White's mum, the lovely I think and have a conversation with her. She declined coming on video, but it was nice to have a chat with her and how she feels about cosplay. She really appreciates what we all do, and she really enjoyed doing a cosplay for our Nats. My only disappointment was not going down and meeting her, because I didn't know any of that was happening because no one told me. But as you guys have such a great community over there, I just can't wait to finally travel that far. You know, stepping stones, I'll get there eventually, or there'll be something here and you guys will come visit me, or there'll be somewhere in between that we can all meet, which would be lovely.
I'm looking really forward to Barcelona, actually, and like getting to see the people, like the European people in the chat and everything. Like, because, you know, I know that there's cosplayers everywhere. Oh, wow, what a segue.
We might not talk about Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, Worlds, that's so exciting. So I don't know if you're looking to go to Worlds, Ryan, yourself, but it's going to be interesting to see what everyone builds there. So you're thinking going to Worlds, Diana?
I am, actually. So I was planning on going to Worlds for a little while, because thankfully I have a job that I can afford to do that. And I wasn't sure about the cosplay to start with. But then I was like, I could probably fit something, like I get a free like checked bag. I was like, I can make this work. I'm actually a fairly light packer. Like when I went to Vegas, like half my suitcase was just cosplay stuff. The other half was like, and some clothes, like just so that I could wear something the other times. But I have accepted my bardic self, and I'm going to be doing Melody as a cosplayer because I know how to play the violin. Awesome. I can sing, and I think that her cosplay is really neat. So I'm looking forward to having a sing-along time in Barcelona on the stage. So
it's going to be awesome.
Toss a coin to your Witcher.
I'm still not sure about the song. It's like I love in the Discord, like there were so many suggestions for the song, which I loved. I was like, there's so many that I wouldn't have thought of by myself. I really wasn't sure what the best ones would be, but I need to go through that. Of course, being me, I was like, I'm gonna focus on the violin, not the actual cosplay of this, but I just like restring my violin. I just got the paint for like editing the violin to look like Melody's. But yeah, I'm gonna probably work on the song next, and it's been a little while since I played it, so we're gonna have to do a little bit of practice, but I'm very excited.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. There is a lot of people going to Worlds, I see, and also Essa is going to be there, and hopefully he's going to get us some awesome photos because he seems to like know exactly how to like put people in places and get like the most out of a photo. Like his photos always seem to come out great, so I can't wait for his photo diary.
I met Esther at like Pro Tour, and it was just so awesome. He was walking around with the Mask of the Pouncing Lynx mask, just like hanging around. He saw me in cosplay, and he's like, "Hey, I just wanted to say, like, I love your cosplay." And I'm like, "Thank you." And he's just like doing his, you know, he's judging. He wasn't able to compete in that particular one. He was really sad about it, but like, he loves judging, and like he loves doing what he can with cosplay during judging. And yeah, he really does get the best photos because he makes sure to find everyone individually and be like, let's go, let's get an individual photo and see what can happen. So
yeah, so Barcelona looks like it's going to be a beautiful venue. As I said, I unfortunately can't go there, but that's how the world goes sometimes. I'm crossing my fingers for, you know, Asian Pacific somewhere next year. Come on, LSS, let's do that. I'll try and get to that world. So if it's in Asia Pacific, I'll do my best. I've given up hope on New Zealand because James keeps saying it's too far for everyone. I'm not sure where he gets that idea because everyone I talk to wants to come to New Zealand, but
it is very expensive.
Very expensive, yeah.
I would love to go. It looks beautiful, and like it'd be neat to come to like the home of Flesh and Blood. Like, yes.
Probably get our butts kicked by everybody there because they've been playing it longer than everyone.
I don't know. I think that we're kind of in a, what do you call it? It's like being in a fishbowl. Like unless you travel, you don't get to see what the rest of the meta's really doing physically. Like, you can only get so much from coverage.
Yeah, locals can be really tough. Once Kyra got into the game, Kyra is my girlfriend who helped on the costume. We traveled a lot for various smaller events. I mean, we've been as far as St. Louis, where I judged an event and she played. And it's crazy how you'll go to a new area. And I mean, even within your state, and if you don't play with those people regularly and they don't know what you're on and you don't know what they're on, and it's hard.
So we've got Bright Lights coming up, and they've already started the spoiler season, which is kind of cool. We've had, I think, 2 cards at this point, one for a brute and one that is another book for a wizard or something, or
the Tome of Imperial
Draconic.
The Draconic book. Yeah.
They did release 3 new ones with the Calling Dallas registration. You might not have seen it before you got up, but they're new mech cards. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, they got a new Pulse Wave card. I'm like, no. What if I wanted to save that card in my hand? It's like, no, you must block.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to. I don't normally play mech, but when we played Arcane Rising for the first time, because I got to do it when it was brand new, I actually ended up playing Dash, and I really wanted to play Azalea when that came, but I ended up playing Dash because that's what I had in my seal pool. And it was really fun, and I'm looking forward to a meta where we can do all sorts of different things. Like, unlike the idea of the shuffle and play type thing, because I think that'd be great for entry for new people as well. And as they're saying, it's going to be like all different things that you can do, but it's all mechanologist, so there's less barrier when you're playing. So that sounds interesting. And Tickle of Awesome just looks good.
Yeah, I'm super excited for the new set. It's kind of, for some of us, it's going to be like a really interesting draft format, because now we can kind of play just the best card soup and not worry about classes or or talent restrictions in the drafting process. A lot of us in this like Michigan local scene are huge on limited, so we really enjoy the draft experience, and I think that sealed is also going to be probably better than most of the other sets for the same reason. So it's looking good.
Yeah, it is looking fun. And we've also got callings coming up, which it seems to be that callings are like the lowest tier that will have a cosplay competition, except for US Nats, which is, I'm a little bit jealous, but that's all right. So we got a few callings. You got Dallas Fort Worth. I don't have my list with me, and another one this month. I think it's a European one.
I don't know the European one. It's like, I thought there was one in Japan.
Is Dallas Fort or Japan? It might have been Japan. I actually had it in notes somewhere.
I can check.
Yeah. So it's and then also there's the Melbourne calling in November, which I have got the bullet, and I'm going to go to Melbourne. I actually haven't been out of the country really. I went to Fiji before COVID, but I haven't actually been to anywhere else in the world. So it's a big step for me, and also to compete. I'm traveling with my friend Ian Kenderdine. He does Right Time Gaming and has had a lot to do with LSS. So I feel a little bit less scared because I'm traveling with someone I know who's always supported me as a cosplayer. So that's going to be quite fun. And I'm hoping, they haven't announced a cosplay competition, but it seems that most call-ins there is some sort of cosplay competition. So
not all of them. Indianapolis didn't have one, so was a calling. But it's weird because they often don't announce them until much closer.
Like the last minute. I think Birmingham was 2 weeks before. Antwerp was like 2 weeks before. So yeah.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. I guess I just have to have a cosplay ready for whenever.
I've been looking at.
It's the rule of ABC, right? Sales have the rule of ABC, which is always be closing. Cosplay should have the ABC of always be creating.
Yeah. I've been on a little bit of a full stop because I'm organising my daughter's 21st, but once that's out of the way, I'll be making more stuff.
Yeah, I understand what you mean about traveling somewhere. Like the person I'm going to, so I'm not going to be Worlds qualified. I'm not that good of a player, but like the person I'm going with is Worlds qualified, and like she's never been out of the country, so I'm just looking really forward to being able to help her out. And like, so like as the person on the other side, it's like I totally understand. The first time you go international, it's so stressful, or even the second or the third. It's like, because there's so many things you have to remember. But it's fun once you get used to it. This is my first time in Spain, though. Well, it will be my first time in Spain. So we'll see how that goes.
I'm so thankful. I don't have to do visas or anything because New Zealand and Australia have this understanding thing, so I can go there without a visa or anything. But yeah, so that's one less paperwork. But yeah, it's going to be fun. Shall we move on to Art That Shouts cosplay? Is there anything that you think that you would love to see cosplayed or would like to cosplay? So I'm seeing that you're liking Melody at the moment, Diana. Is that what you're thinking at the moment, or is there anything else that's sparking interest?
Yeah, Melody right now is like my number one. I would like to get more Lena Bell art. Because right now there's not much. It's mostly just the article itself of the shitty Christmas presents. And then she looks so different on the premeditate card. I just don't really like count it. It's like, okay, like we're gonna just stick with the original article. But I would like to get some more art of her, especially it looks like she has some kind of contraption on her back. And it's like, I'd like to see how that works.
Ryan, any art that you think that would be awesome to see cosplay or cosplay yourself?
Yeah, I was actually looking at because when I looked at this topic, I was thinking a lot about how the cosplay community is growing, and I've heard from a few people that they want to try something, but they're not sure what to do. So when I looked at this topic, I was actually I was like, I'm going to go look at card galleries. So I actually just went through the sets, and depending on what your goal is for a cosplay, like especially for a newer person, you can pick something as simple as like the equipment fisticuffs. I think is a really good example. I have downloaded an image right here, but I don't know if I can share it. But fisticuffs is literally just, it's an equipment piece, and it's very simple. It's like a fingerless glove with some, brass knuckles, some spikes, and barbed wire on it. It's super simple. And as somebody who, like I only recently started crafting anything out of foam, if you had never done it before, you only have to make, 3 or 4 different things and then glue it to a glove. Like, if that's your goal. I think a lot of people pick stuff based on their passions, which is really what makes cosplay exciting. And that's kind of why we picked Shayana, and not really realizing that that there's a reason nobody cosplayed her before.
I've started a Shayana, and it's in pieces, and it's hard. I have great admiration for you for completing that, because
it wasn't easy. I took as many steps as possible to simplify the project, but what ended up happening is instead of getting a copy paste sort of effect where I'm trying to just recreate this card, I actually sort of redesigned it. So not a great design decision ahead of time, but other arts that cosplay me, actually one that I thought would be a funny meme is a Ponder token. Because it's very simple, but there's certain elements of this card where you could have it on your body in such a way that when you kneel into the pose to like do the pose the guy does. It either makes stuff come together to make a picture of the card and the text box together, or just other elements like that.
So I don't know if you ever saw the I nicknamed it the Sift guy from Pro Tour.
Yeah, I remember that guy, because I remember looking at him like, I recognize it, but from what?
But I remember his explanation when I was chatting with him at Baltimore. I was like, why'd you choose that card? He was just like, well, I didn't want to do anything too complicated. And I thought the card was fun and I wanted to try something. And I was like, that is awesome. Like, he did such a great job, and he went on that stage and he did all the poses and everything. So I think I agree with you. Like, it's fun to just find easy. You can make easier looking ones still a lot of fun. Like,
yeah.
Also, when I was looking through card galleries, I thought of some other ideas. You can. I don't think anyone's done a team cosplay yet. I think some people have. I think somebody did Sand Sketch Plan, and like they had other people as bushes, maybe.
At Christmas time, me and my friend did a photo. She was Len About and I was Azalea, and I shared it in the group chat, and then Max Veracity put herself in the picture, and then we put so we didn't do it together, but it exists, and then we had an Arachme in the costume in the photo as well, so we kind of did a copy paste one, but doing one in person was so much better.
It was composited.
Yeah,
that's really cool. So that was for Shitty Christmas Gift.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
I would love if, actually, I was talking with my friend about having multiple competitions of cosplay, but
different categories.
Yeah, different categories. But I was thinking just one of the categories would just be group or multiple.
Yeah,
just having
it should
two.
100%.
Because honestly, the United We Stand picture we took was one of my favorite moments of the entire weekend. I was like, oh man, if we could have gotten everyone together, we would have crushed that.
Yeah, we were only missing Prism and Bolton, which were the only those are fairly popular characters, especially Prism, but no, I feel like we've seen very few Prism cosplays built. Again, same problem as Shayana probably, when you look at it and you're like, oh, I could build that, and then you're like, wait, that's all sewing.
There was a very nice Prism done in the Europe area, and she's I had her as a cosplayer of the month last month, and it looked gorgeous.
That was the new
European. She did the new version,
Oh yeah, okay. For team cosplay, I was thinking you got a really good. Maybe it's too simple, but I mean, you got feisty locals.
Yep, that would be cool.
There's two very good pictures of people in this frame. You can clearly see what they're wearing, and that was one of the things that I was thinking of as a talking point for someone who's coming into it. Is ideally you want your base image to be something where you can see all of the details, and when you zoom into it, it doesn't vanish into pixels. Or at least the idea of what they're wearing is very clearly communicated. Everything else. So another example of that was possibly Brain Freeze.
Yeah.
Where the guy has kind of his head is exploding with ice, and that would be the hardest part of it probably to build. But the rest of his outfit is super straightforward.
I was thinking, if you're thinking group ones, what about warmongers? I mean, we all hate seeing it on the.
That's a good one.
But that's got a lot of very defined people in it. That would kind of be quite cool.
I would love if they did a group one and they had probably not the official tokens, but tokens made of cardboard or something that had the War and Peace that they were flicking out to people. It's choose your side.
I did make some bounty cards when I first did Azalea with all the other heroes, but now there's so many heroes, I'd have too many cards. So
I hadn't even considered creating cosplay, but if they did another event where we revisit either the uprising or like the end of it, the resolution in a booster set, I was just thinking it would be funny to make an origami pattern of a Helios miter that you could just hand out, and it just shows you how to fold it, and then you have your hat.
Oh, that'd
Because
be
it's
cool.
a token and everybody gets it.
Yeah.
So you'd be like, here's your paper hat, and like on the brim it just has like pay to resources, do the thing.
I think interactive cosplays really do get received quite well, because with my tailor I've made a tunic which is Velcro, so anyone can put it on, and it just made people smile so much. Here's Taylor and she's trying this tunic on me, and it's quite fun. I think being interactive is just a really good thing when you're going with cosplay. But on the Art That Shouts cosplay, it's a card that I actually haven't seen yet. It's a still that I took that I think everybody's seen. It's the chick with the motorbike, and that's come up for the new set. She would be the bomb. Yeah. So I think I've shared it in the Discord, so I will pop it up when I put my editing through. But it is she's got the half mask. She's got like the animal print, I think, pants, and the motorbike's just forefront, and it's still I've ripped, but I think that still will be a card. I'm not sure what it will be, but I think that's just being able to have those spoiler videos is quite nice for us as cosplayers to get a feel of what the next set's going to be. And also you can go, I like that art. And there was also a really cool one that looked like Dr. Freeze, the big mechanologist with the old guy, the older crazy guy face in the armor looked pretty good too.
I think all the images in the intro video were just really whoa, this is really fun. So
I like the whole feel, the whole yes, we're kind of almost Fallout feel.
Yeah,
I just like that whole video, was it like that? It's almost like the how-to videos that they used to have, or almost the Loki video, the Loki, intro video that they had there as well in the Loki series. The Miss Minutes kind of thing feel. It was quite cool.
I'm excited to see more art from this set. It's
Yeah.
My steampunk love is yes.
Yeah, I was also thinking for anyone who knows about the BioShock series is also very steampunky. But yeah, steampunk is the way.
Yeah. We have a very healthy steampunk community up here. So because I work in a shop that sells a lot of costume supplies and sewing supplies and all that kind of stuff, I get to chew their ears all the time. So it's nice to be able to get actual direct things from them. How do I do this? And they're like, this and this. I was like, yes. Because I have no idea when it comes to steampunk. It's such a new thing to me. So what are we looking forward to? I guess we're kind of covering that with the whole with the pre-release, and then we've also got another season of fourth season of
ProQuest.
Yeah. My store's just said that they're going to have one, so that's cool. Do you guys have ProQuest near you that you'll be interested in going to, or does that? I don't think it overlaps with Worlds, but it can get quite close. I'm not sure.
I'm actually not sure when the ProQuest is. I'm not a good person. I haven't been looking that far ahead, but I'm sure that there will be a local store. When I say local, within 2 hours of me. So,
wait, where are you?
Middle of the mountains in Virginia.
Oh yeah.
Go. Okay. But I will probably try to make it to at least one, because I do love the more competitive events as well. But yeah.
The Midwest has a very rich competitive scene. There, I mean, I think last year when ProQuests were new, we still had 2 ProQuests per weekend on 2 sides of the state for the entire ProQuest season, every single weekend.
Wow.
So I was able to travel to like 5 or more.
Did you
This
judge
year,
at them, or
what's that?
did you judge at them, or?
I think I judged one. Yeah, I did. I did judge maybe 2. I can't remember. Last year, I can't remember. This year, no. Yeah, we have a lot of stores in the area. So we have one already was announced by the store that I go to like every Wednesday. And then the Saturday store will most likely have one. And I mean, there's a bunch of stores that are still popping off in our area. So there should be probably 5 to 10 within 2 hours of me, counting Chicago and
Wow.
Indianapolis is only 3 hours for me as well. So if we really wanted to try hard and travel.
That's a problem with the weekday ones. If you work during the week, it's hard to come back, and if they have a weekday one, but a lot of them do hold them on the weekends. I have one store local to me, and the rest are in Auckland, which is like a 3-hour drive for me. But there's usually 3 or 4 in Auckland, so sometimes we'll make a road trip for a group of us. Otherwise, geographically, I'm in the most northern place that has a game store in New Zealand, so it's always a bit of a travel to go to anything. So anything else that you're just looking forward to generally this month?
The thing this month. Oh, it is this month. Okay, I was like, this month. Yes. So the thing I am looking most forward to is like the new UPF box, because UPF has been something I've wanted to work, but I've never quite like found the love for it. I never quite found like a hero that I was like, I want to run this in UPF and like politics and stuff. Like the Table Pit is like a big UPF YouTube channel, and like I've been on it. And it's just they do a great job. It's really fun, but like it always seems like there's something missing. So I think it's really neat that we're getting new heroes that are like specifically for this format, and like there's a whole box and everything, so you can be like, okay, I buy this box, everyone gets a pack, let's go. Like I'm in love with that, and I'm in love with the new I forget what the name is. I want to call it like side event package, but like how they have the armory packages normally.
Yes, the casual play kit.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, this first one's Melody, and it's evergreen, so it can be used at any time, and it doesn't change until the next kit. So they're not saying what if they're going to do another kit, but there's a whole lot of different promos in the box, and you're able to your local game store is able to like have a separate event, say it's a super casual one, and give things out in a different way, not so, you got the top so you get the cold foil, but a different type of way to play, because we're not all super competitive people. So I guess it's a great idea to encourage the, I say casual play, but social play,
Yeah.
I think it's more social, and I play mostly to be social anyway. Occasionally I'll do well, but I think it's a great idea.
But I love how it's a separate package now, because we are trying to make the casual play work at like our armories, but then people would be like, oh, it's replacing our normal armories? Well, we don't want to like come out to do UPF. We want to come do CC, which is like our most popular thing. So, and they're like, but we only have enough armory support for, the 4 events throughout the month, like on each weekend. So I'm really looking forward to having another package that we can just be like, okay, let's do something a different day of the week, like a different weekend or something, and then we can just focus on that. You could come to both, you can come to one, you could come to neither. Like, I just think that's really awesome of LSS. I really am looking forward to where UPF is going. So yeah, I think that's something I am most looking forward to, since I don't play Mechanologist. If I did, I feel like I'd be more interested in Bright Lights, but right now I'm more interested in the art. So, and like the sealed format itself, because I also love limited. But
yeah, I'm a limited player. I love drafting, and even from playing Magic, I drafted quite a lot because I don't tend to go out and buy a whole lot of cards, so it's a good way to get cards and have fun at the same time.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
this the news on UPF was actually news to me right now. So that's I'm gonna have to go read those articles and catch up because that's super interesting. I'm really looking forward to PvE actually.
yeah,
I think Pit Fight is super interesting. I'm not particularly good at politics myself, but I was thinking I already have a Therion Judicator deck that I've built and I haven't really tested. And then, I mean, before this, I think it's pretty clear, before Dusk Till Dawn at least, that Valda Bright Axe was probably one of the best UPF heroes, simply because she had the first ability that was released that really cared about what everyone else is doing. So I'm also looking forward to the new UPF box. I mean, for all the same reasons. I think it's a good product. And, we're going to have at least one to use to play with and build with.
I love playing Genus in UPF because I get to give everyone silvers and they're all cards, and they let me have silvers. It's wonderful. My daughter opened me a silver palm, so I get good use out of it in UPF.
Nice.
Nice.
So I think we've covered everything that we wanted to cover today. Anything else anyone wants to talk about? The floor is open.
So this is kind of something I was thinking about when we were talking about different categories of cosplay. The other one that I said, I actually said this or thought of this when I was talking to the girl who did the Dunebreaker Centipede.
Yeah.
And I said she needs to have the category for best pet, right? So we had the Meep and we had the Ashwing.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more room for this. I mean, like,
the Ashwing definitely won that. Like, hard stop. That was gorgeous.
We haven't seen anybody cosplay as a Meep, like a full-size Meep or half-size Meep.
Yeah.
In that category, potentially, is Ravenous Rabble. So
bring back Frightmare. Let's go.
Yeah, right? Oh, no. That was... The ones that I've seen were so good.
I'm still trying to hunt down that Frightmare. I really want to talk to them, but they seem to be very elusive.
I understand what you mean, though. Like when you said with your competition, how people just disappear. Like, I mean, I don't have any social media. If I didn't have, like, if I wasn't invited to the Discord, like, I would not know how to interact with people except for at events. And, like, like, the good thing about the Discord is it sort of keeps you motivated. It keeps you thinking about it. Because sometimes, like, especially if you had hoped for better things, if you go to a cosplay and you're like, oh, I was hoping to, like, get top 3 or something, and you just don't. And, like, and you're like, okay, now what? Like, I guess I just, like, but the Discord chat sort of keeps people, like, a little motivated. You see, like, new ideas, like, what people are doing. You see them struggle, I think, which is, like, I wouldn't say it's the most important, but it reminds you that people are human, and, like, the people that, like Rachel and Carolina doing these amazing cosplays, like, they're also just really willing to help you if you need it. So, but it can be difficult if, like, they don't have, like, a social media presence that focuses on their cosplay endeavors to find people. So, because, like, even at Pro Tour Baltimore, there's a Kano cosplayer who is excellent, and, like, I don't know where he is. I don't know who he is. Like, if you're listening to this, you did great. But, like, it's things like that, you know? Like, it's like, I want to see these people again. And sometimes people look really different without their cosplay. Like, oh my gosh, the person who did Taipanis, like seeing him
Oh,
out of it and just as a normal judge, I was like, you look way younger, which is fair because you're trying to look older for the Taipanis.
He pulled it off.
He did a great job too. Oh my gosh. So
hair and makeup. I think something else that you mentioned that's going to be one of my takeaways today, at least something that I'm going to remember, is when you said that something you said, but I don't think you were quite thinking of this angle. So events are stressful, yes, but an element that cosplay brings to it is a moment to forget that stuff. To not just for the other cosplayers who might be stressed out, but also for the players who get to, relax a little. And I think there could be more interactivity with cosplaying. I was kind of surprised at US Nats that they didn't actually stream it because their stage presentation was quite good. And in a lot of times, like if you have a good production value on that end, like they had Flake on stage presenting for everyone and reading what they submitted and what we wrote for the contest, as like they asked us to write out like 150 words or less. And he was like, well, and that was the other thing about that that situation with the judging and stuff. Like there were some question marks here and there, but the judging criteria were pretty straightforward. But the judges at the time they didn't necessarily get like a copy of everyone's like submission with their concept art and like all of that. So it was like it was structured well to be a good contest, and it was a good presentation. So I was kind of surprised that they didn't stream it and make it more interactive.
It would be quite nice. I think some of the Europeans have put videos up. So there is one from the calling that, the calling in Birmingham. There is a video that was put up by One Thing, and it includes a whole piece about the cosplay, which is really cool. So that is out there. And I have a video when they had the one when they looked after the cosplay competition. I think it was another calling or a European thing there. They also have a little bit of footage of theirs as well. But yeah, as I say, it would be nice to have it at the time, like because we have all the gameplay, and I think it would be really cool to be able to share it with everybody because it's so cool. And me stuck down here, I just want it. I'm biased. Every time there's a cosplay competition somewhere else, I'm on the Discord, I'm on the Twitter, I'm like, photos please. I'm harassing people. I know you're tired, but do you have photos?
I was just wondering, I was just thinking while you were saying that, I wonder if there's a way that somebody could make a video appearance. Like you're stuck in New Zealand and you may not be able to travel, but you can enter the contest remotely via webcam, where they would have, it's a whole extra element of production if you're going to have a stage that you would have to have like a projector screen so that you could feature that person. But future ideas, maybe at bigger events, bigger cosplay contests, bigger stakes, the world stage.
The world stage, that would be. I'm just waiting for someone to sponsor me over there, but I don't think that's happening. It's too expensive.
Yeah.
I haven't won anything. It's not happening.
Thankfully, I'm not a playmat collector, so whenever I go to an event, I'm like, I'll get the package and just like sell the playmat just to try to like pay for the event a little bit, which is like a nice thing.
I sold my dash straight away when I went to the Auckland calling. I've struggled to get rid of the map, but the dash went.
Yeah, the dash is actually
paid for my accommodation.
Yeah, I've discovered that it's quite surprising how many people are willing to cover your fee for your package to enter events if they just want the promos, and then you get event tickets. So it's actually it can be quite a fair trade. for people that want access to that. I've done that for people several times where I was just happy to be able to play.
Yeah.
Because maybe I couldn't afford a package, and I'm okay giving up the promos. I mean, it's everybody wins. So definitely for people who are thinking about going to a bigger event, but maybe budget is a concern, that's, especially if you're cosplaying on a budget and you want to play side events. Like, I didn't actually have extra funding to do that, and I got a last minute sponsorship. So that Shapeshifter 5.0 would not have happened if somebody hadn't helped me out. So shout out to people who are willing to sponsor for the promos.
Yeah. Yes, that's awesome. So I think we've kind of come to the end of our little chat. So thank you both so much for being a part of this and accepting my invitation. I know it's a lot to take a little bit of time out of your guys' days, as much as it is. And I really appreciate. And it was awesome seeing everyone's conversations in the Discord and seeing everybody's photos at events on Twitter and on Facebook and everywhere. So it's been really nice. Do you have any socials that either of you wish to share?
I don't. Sorry. But
That's fine. That's
I am on the
fine.
Discord. I do look at it. So if you ever
Yeah.
join, I'll support you.
I heard you talk about helping someone out with scissors, so that's good that you guys were able to communicate and help people out at events that way too.
Yeah, I was walking around the hotel with a pair of scissors. I was like, this isn't sketchy at all. It's fine.
I must look at making a special channel just so that when you're at events, you can just go into that channel.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, yeah. So you can have sub channels for. That would just be a really good idea.
Yeah.
Sub channels for everything.
Yeah.
Do you want to voice chat with somebody who's on the floor, but they're over there, and maybe you want to meet up for lunch?
Yeah. So anything, Ryan, that you would like to share?
Yeah, I'm on Discord. I like being a resource for people. I guess Discord did away with the numbers in your username now.
Yeah.
So people could add me if they wanted to, I guess. If we share a server, it should let them, security things. But it's my Discord handle is the THE Razor. I don't even know how to pronounce my own name. I'm going to say it's Raze Ryan. So RAZERYAN. That's all one word, lowercase, on Discord. And I don't really post on Instagram that much, so it's there. But it's Excitable Adventurer.
Oh, cool.
If anyone wants to reach out.
Yeah, and I'm Fabled Hero NZ everywhere: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on Discord. And also, everyone, please jump on and support us on Facebook. We have our own Flesh and Blood cosplay page for people who want to support us and want to see what we're up to. I think it's climbing. It's getting a lot of members, as much as also our Discord is seeming to, every time an event comes up, we get a little flurry of extra people, and it's lovely to see more people in there. You don't have to be super active. It's just nice to see people there, and we'll be there when you need us, because that's how we work. It's a little family. So thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe on this video. If you have any questions or things that you want to be covered in future videos, drop them down in the comments. And thank you all for watching. And this has been the Shapeshifters of Rathe. We're here to inspire, create, and live. Bye.